Car is not born on some isolated drawing board. It's born in the needs, the desires, and the changing lifestyles of real people. The LN7 has been designed to appeal primarily to the fastest growing segment of new car buyers in the industry, people under the age of 35. Right now, 42% of new car buyers are under 35, and their numbers have consistently risen over the past 15 years. Equally significant, almost a third of all new car buyers are single, a group almost doubling in importance over the past 2 decades. Even more spectacular has been the rise in the number of female buyers. In that same period, they have grown from only 15% to 39% of the market. And that's women who order and pay for their cars, not merely names on a registration card. Those are impressive numbers. But what are these people like? What are they looking for? They're young, affluent, and very image-oriented. They're also better educated, and on the average, going to work sooner. They're capable, ready, and willing to spend sufficient dollars to satisfy their purchase wants and needs. Like a vast majority of Americans, most of their driving is done alone or with only one passenger. And quite frankly, they don't anticipate much change in that aspect of their lifestyle. For both practical and social reasons, they insist upon fuel-efficient cars, but they're becoming more than a little bored with the sameness of the utilitarian design most of these cars represent. They're looking for something unique, something slightly exotic, an easily distinguished image car, but one they can live with as fuel costs increase. Something that's fun to drive and responsive, but without the temperamental characteristics of the traditional sports car. They demand technical integrity, advanced engineering, and low maintenance. And they want a well-appointed car, one that they'd be proud to be seen in any place. Something that doesn't look or feel like an economy car. And finally, because they either are or would like to think of themselves as trendsetters, they want a car that projects that image. The imports have recognized this market with cars like the Honda Prelude and the Datsun 200SX. Now there's an American alternative, LN7, a sporty, fuel-efficient, sophisticated image car from Lincoln Mercury. LN7, with its emphasis on quality, high levels of standard equipment, and innovative design and engineering, is comparably priced to some of these imports, and not any one of them is inexpensive. But these buyers are willing to pay for what they're getting. The car, the status, the flair, the image that is part of their lifestyle. They are willing to give up 0 to 55 acceleration performance figures as a priority appeal. But they are not willing to give up the image that comes from possessing a unique, fun-to-drive automobile. The LN7 is a domestic car that can fulfill all these expectations. And it offers some very practical advantages over the sporty imports in terms of superior fuel economy ratings, more cargo capacity, technical innovations like the CVH engine and its superior aerodynamic styling. But one of LN7's most important features won't be found on any specifications page. It's LN7's ability to express a new spirit. It's not a compromise between an economy car and the sports cars of yesterday. It's a new kind of car. And although we spent a lot of time talking about the young market, LN7's appeal can be much broader than that. The LN7 can be the right car for any buyer with a sense of individuality, including the middle-aged man or woman who just wants to be able to drive someplace in a fuel-efficient, well-appointed car. It's a car that reflects a personal lifestyle, a new awareness that practicality doesn't have to mean ordinary, and economy doesn't have to mean dull. It's a brand new kind of car for a brand new kind of world. And the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. LN7, the ultra-fuel efficient car that makes economy fun again. The ideal car for the young, affluent, image-oriented buyer. LN7, available today in your showroom. It's a winner.
One of the most impressive characteristics of the LN7 is its extraordinarily high level of standard features. It comes so completely equipped from the factory that only a few options are needed to accommodate customer personalization. It's important that the prospect understand this, and that requires a full presentation of all LN7 features. There are probably a lot of ways of doing that, but we feel the simplest and surest is still the 6-position cell. Dividing your presentation to correspond to these 6 positions around the car has a number of advantages for you. First, it makes it easier for you to remember all the features because you're able to group them according to where they appear on the car. Second, the sequence of the presentation makes it easier for the prospect to remember the features. It allows you to begin your sales presentation at whatever part of the car you find the prospect, and helps keep you in control. Although we've numbered the positions, starting at the front of the car, any position can be presented first. To show you how this presentation could work, we'd like to quickly take you around the car and indicate a few features you could talk about at each position. Now, your presentation, of course, will be much more detailed. For a complete explanation of LN7 features and their benefits, we suggest you review the other segments of this tape and the extensive product literature available. Position 1 is the front. With the hood closed, the car's most obvious characteristic is the sharply raked front end. It's natural, therefore, to talk about LN7's excellent aerodynamics and its benefits in terms of fuel economy and reduced wind noise. In this position, you should also point out the structural integrity and damage and rust resistance of the soft front fascia, plus the fact that the high-intensity halogen headlamps are standard equipment. Position 2, passenger side front. Open the hood and cover the innovative 1.6-liter CVH engine, the most efficient engine offered by Lincoln Mercury. Mention the fact that the engine is mounted transversely to save engine compartment weight and to give better passenger compartment roominess. The fact that LN7 is a front-wheel drive car for good traction, pulled by the front wheels rather than pushed by the rear ones. The quick precision of the rack and pinion steering. The roadability characteristics of the Macpherson strut front suspension. And the added cornering stability provided by the standard front stabilizer bar. In this position, you can also cover the standard steel-belted tires with the European-type wraparound tread, and power front disc rear drum brakes are also standard equipment for reduced braking effort. In position 3, we move to the rear of the car on the passenger side. Among the items you should mention are the standard dual sport mirrors, remotely controlled for greater convenience. The standard sport-style steel wheels with bright trim rings, and the independent rear suspension, a major factor in LN7's great ride and handling. This is also the ideal place to introduce the aerodynamics of LN7's unique bubble backlight design. Position 4 is the rear of the car, with the hatch up. It's natural to point out the amount of cargo room here, the unique cargo retainer bar that prevents cargo from sliding forward, and to demonstrate the security provided by the cargo area cover. And don't forget the convenience of the electric rear window defroster, another standard feature. Or the fact that the hatch can be opened from the inside with the power liftgate release. Position 5 is along the driver's side. Here you might point out that full tinted glass is a standard feature, and the additional protection provided by the fascia extension moldings. They're there for more than just appearance. Position 6 is the interior of the car, and the way the LN7 is equipped, you're going to spend a lot of time here. Point out in advance that it's unlikely anyone would want to add much to the way the car is equipped. You can start your interior presentation with the deluxe door trim and convenient map pockets. Mention the thick plush carpeting. Demonstrate the low back reclining bucket seats. High back reclining bucket seats are available as a no extra charge option. Then indicate the completeness of the instrumentation, starting with the tachometer, temperature gauge, and trip odometer, and continuing with the amp meter, oil pressure gauge, and warning lights on the console. The LN7 even has a headlamp on warning buzzer and interval windshield wipers as standard equipment. The digital clock is also standard, as is an AM radio with twin speakers. The power liftgate release is located in the glove box, and there's a full complement of interior lights, including a map light. Those are a few of the long list of standard features on the LN7. Of course, if the car you're presenting happens to be equipped with a couple of options, you'll want to point those out too. LN7's most important options include the ATX transaxle with its fuel-saving split torque feature, and LN7's ultimate handling package, the TR Performance Suspension, Michelin TRX tires, variable rate rear springs, and choice of TR Sport Steel or aluminum wheels. The moonroof, radio selection, power steering, automatic speed control, and even the unique shearling and leather seating surface might also be part of your presentation. But remember, options are not the big thing with this car. Standard features are, and there are a lot of them. We've covered a few of the most important very quickly here. You'll want to develop your own 6-position cell and tailor it to the interests of the individual customer. But all your customers should know what they're getting for their money. This car was designed for people who are bored with stripped-down econoboxes. In the LN7, you have a very special car. It deserves a complete presentation. LN7 design. It's a lot more than just styling. Behind the flair of LN7's lines is an overall design concept that makes it one of the most technologically advanced cars on the American road. Let's look at a few major features. The raked front end is made of soft urethane. This material permits better aerodynamic shaping. It maintains structural integrity, resists appearance damage, and doesn't rust, thus minimizing maintenance and repair costs for the owner. This unique bubble design rear window enhances styling. It also provides excellent airflow management, and that was one of our major design objectives. By the time the design and airflow management engineers had completed their work, the LN7 had undergone more than 550 hours of wind tunnel testing, and become one of the most aerodynamic cars built in North America. What does excellent aerodynamics mean to the LN7 buyer? It means that as the LN7 slices through the air with minimum turbulence, its airflow management contributes to fuel economy. And reduced air turbulence means less interior wind noise. Finally, good aerodynamics improves engine efficiency because the engine doesn't have to work as hard to overcome wind resistance and drag. So, good aerodynamics means a lot more than just good looks. The LN7's aerodynamics are part of its total design concept. Front-wheel drive and a transverse-mounted engine transfer pulling power directly to the driving wheels. They also eliminate the need for a transmission tunnel that takes up interior space. And they eliminate the need for a long drive shaft to the rear axle, which saves weight. And that helps fuel economy. The engine is the innovative 1.6-liter compound valve Hemi head, the most fuel-efficient power plant being built for Lincoln Mercury products. In addition to excellent fuel economy, CVH delivers good performance, low emissions, and low noise level. For use in the LN7, this engine was combined with a large diameter, low back pressure exhaust, which was also retuned to enhance its resonance. The LN7 also features two innovative and highly efficient transaxles: the standard manual transaxle, or MTX, and the optional automatic transaxle, or ATX. The quick-shifting MTX features a gas and engine-saving fourth-gear overdrive. And for the LN7, an optional higher numerical final drive ratio has been added on the MTX for improved performance. The optional ATX features the convenience of automatic gear shifting, plus a split torque feature that transmits a large part of the engine power mechanically rather than hydraulically. This eliminates transmission slippage, which is a common cause of fuel efficiency loss in conventional automatic transmissions. The aerodynamics, the weight reduction measures, the CVH engine, and the innovative transaxles all work together to provide both good performance and excellent fuel economy. These EPA fuel economy numbers are an indication of how successful LN7's total design concept really is. These are better EPA numbers than cars like Honda Prelude, Datsun 200SX, and VW Scirocco. Now, let's take a look at the last major engineering elements of the LN7 design equation: ride and handling. The car's aerodynamic shape, low center of gravity, and quick, responsive rack and pinion steering are clearly technically correct. What remained to be added was a specially tuned independent suspension system for each wheel that gives the driver the feel of remarkable stability on all kinds of roads. Four-wheel independent suspension. It begins with a full Macpherson strut suspension system up front, combined with a standard stabilizer bar for steady cornering. The independent rear suspension allows each wheel to step over bumps and surface irregularities independently, thus minimizing the transfer of road shocks to the other wheel and to the passenger compartment. This independent concept can also be found on Mercedes, Porsche, and Corvette. An expensive system, but one that pays off in stability, lateral acceleration capability, and riding comfort. That kind of control is a major reason why LN7 is so much fun to drive. But in our product development, we found that even this system could be improved upon, and we did it with optional Michelin TRX tires and TR Performance suspension, a system that combines four-wheel independent suspension with specially developed tires from Michelin, variable rate rear springs designed by our European engineers, and a larger front stabilizer bar. The TR suspension, the ultimate in LN7 handling. You've just seen the major elements of LN7's total engineering and design concept. Sophisticated technology that begins with excellent aerodynamics, front-wheel drive, an innovative CVH transverse-mounted engine, two new highly efficient transaxles, outstanding EPA fuel economy ratings, and rack and pinion steering combined with fully independent suspension systems for remarkably controlled ride and handling. That's the total engineering design of LN7, a brand new motoring experience for America. Take one for a test drive and find out what you've been missing. Introducing LN7, a brand new kind of American car from Lincoln Mercury. From the wedge of its soft front fascia, along its sleek, dramatic profile, to the unique bubble-back styling, LN7 is one of the most aerodynamically designed production cars built in America. In fact, it has better aerodynamics than Corvette, Porsche 928, Datsun 280Z, and most any other production sports car you care to name. LN7's minimum turbulence aerodynamics helps decrease wind noise and contributes significantly to fuel economy. For the economy-minded buyer bored with economy car styling, here is a complete new image. In terms of design and technology, LN7 puts it all together. It combines the positive feel of front-wheel drive with the quick response of rack and pinion steering. The front stabilizer bar enhances driver control, and a specially tuned independent suspension system for each of the four wheels provides the feel of excellent stability on all kinds of roads. The standard front disc and rear drum brakes are power assisted. The ultra-efficient 1.6-liter compound valve hemispherical engine is matched with the power sound of the sport-tuned exhaust and the sure feel of the 4-speed manual transaxle. But above all, each LN7 owner knows that he or she is experiencing this kind of driving pleasure and this kind of fuel economy. It's a lot of fun to drive, but it's practical too. LN7's sensible design fits a growing American lifestyle. There's more cargo space here than in a Toyota Celica GT liftback, or a Datsun 200SX, or a VW Scirocco. And none of these competitors offers a retainer bar to keep the cargo from sliding forward, or a standard cargo area cover. The extra touches, the standard features in the LN7 make it one of the most completely equipped cars in its class. A high level of interior trim, bucket seats that recline, a standard AM radio with 2 front speakers. The clock is digital. Standard instrumentation includes a tachometer, temperature gauge, and a trip odometer. Console instrumentation includes ammeter, oil pressure gauge, door ajar warning light, and low washer fluid light, all standard. There's a pivoting map light, a power liftgate release, and even a headlamp-on warning buzzer. Again, standard equipment. So, unlike many traditional sport or economy cars, LN7 doesn't force the buyer to make a lot of personal compromises. LN7 doesn't limit a lifestyle, it expands it. Although each LN7 is a completely equipped car, there are enough options available to assure that each buyer can personalize the LN7 to suit his or her lifestyle. For example, seats trimmed uniquely in shearling and leather seating surfaces, air conditioning, a variety of special audio equipment, including a premium sound system and an AM/FM stereo radio with cassette tape player, an automatic transaxle, or power steering and fingertip speed control. The buyer seeking the ultimate in LN7 performance can turn an already precise handling experience into a truly unique union between car and driver with the optional Michelin TRX tires and performance suspension. Or take a different look at the world through this available flip-up open-air roof. Whatever their personal preferences, what the LN7 will really represent to them is a new way to express themselves. It's the symbol of a new spirit. LN7. Extraordinary aerodynamic styling, sophisticated technology, combined with LN7 driving excitement, versatility, and a touch of class. LN7 from Lincoln Mercury. Take a demonstration drive today.